The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.
Welcome back. It is the Deep Talk. My name is Mr. Henry in Charlie and Mr. Chugozi. Just 2023. How does that? When I say that, does it give you like some goosebumps?
Yes, because I think it's one of the busiest schedules I've ever had in my life. Has been this year.
Here in the US.
Yes.
You have a TV show.
Did the US tour.
How did that go, by the way?
It was really good. Really great reception. I think what I'm seeing is a whole new stock of like the Ugandan kids that have grown up there, trying to make contact with what's going on in Uganda. I also had some come up to me after the show and be like, man, we can't believe that guys are flowing like this back home. You know, our idea of Ugandan music was strictly just doing the beep, beep, beep,
that's Chidongo, yeah?
Yeah, they some of them were unaware that the music gets like this as well. You know, we also have hip hop, we also have soul, we also have rock guys, we also have, you know, the Morris Kyria soul music. I mean, they were unaware. So it was really dope reintroducing them to Ugandan music and being like, yo, you need to actually study up, you know, and come back home even. So it was nice to see that new generation of Ugandan kids. And then also just to see the people walking there. I was like, why are there 300 white people here? Like, you know what I mean? We're getting love from them. There's like West Africans who came, you know, guys who are still fans of when we used to make hits for the whole of Africa. One and only. They're waiting for their katas. They're waiting for those songs, the early ones, Bugumungalo. So it was nice to see that Nigerian crowd as well. It was dope, man, touring around. So big shout outs, you know, Scoop ENT, you know, big shout outs to my boy Arnold, you know, for linking all of that up. It was a beautiful thing. And big shout out to my guys in Boston, the mean streets of Boston as well. That was a crazy show.
There's people that have been here for a minute, but when they come on stage to perform, kids look at them as dinosaurs. They don't even understand what they're singing. But I've seen you, recently we had a huge event, Zina Festival. You stepped on stage and kids went crazy.
That was...
What do you think has not made you a dinosaur? Even after 20 years.
I think I'm a dinosaur.
You're not.
But
because if you were, you wouldn't be relatable.
I think for me, like I said, I never hate on the new thing. If there's a new flow, even in raga, alien skin, if there's something new that happens, like I want to know about what makes that dope. And you have a lot of people who come from my era who are just like, I don't want to know. Raga, reggae, me, I'm just sticking with my, you know, which is also cool. You're entitled to do that as a human being. But for me, I'm a futurist. When I hear a new sound, even though at first I might be like, what is that? Bajitachi? Trap? Okay, what makes it dope? Then you hear the bass lines. Right in the sun in the dairy, I pull up a son of a ton of a search. Baby, look, talking like tertiary. You know, you start to feel it. What is making it dope? And then you use it as in your own style. So for me, I'm about learning from the youth. A lot of guys, they get to my age or they get to my status and they're like, you need to learn from me. I'm like, okay. But I also feel like I need to learn from the youth. So when you have that perspective, then I think you're able to keep a bit more present.
After the 20 years, what do you feel like has been your hardest moments in the career?
I'd say
things that almost swept you off your feet.
One, I have the ability, I know right here, I have the ability to make 10 Nawurirangas followed by 10 Njogerezas back to back. But I love hip hop. So I don't know whether you can call it the greatest challenge is my own putu, my own stubbornness. Because you want to be a hit maker, you want to cover all your bases. But at the same point in time, I want to do what I love. And the half of my fans move with me because of what I do for hip hop. You know, I can walk into a radio station in Nigeria unannounced right now, and they'll be like, hey, they'll welcome me. That kind of power, you get it from being a master at what you do, and what I do best is hip hop. So I think one of the biggest challenges for me was not just saying, hey, let me just be a hit maker. You know, let's just get this money, blah 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 blah, hit. I wanted to give people real content, more content. Talk about my life in rap, talk about my thoughts, compete. Whereas right now you can put me on a song with, I don't care, man, Drake, Jay-Z, whoever. I'm going to stand my ground proudly as a Ugandan. Uganda, know that you have someone who can handle these people. Actually, you have more than one.
Yeah.
There's like,
for them, they think, for those people to be handled, the verses have to be in Luganda.
Yeah. And which is a beautiful thing as well.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of Luganda artists who can also hang with the best of them. You know, but even in Luzungu, Luganda, just know that we have artists who are on that level. They're on par with the biggest and best artists. It's just the opportunity that we haven't got. And that's the thing. That was one of the big challenges as well, was what is real. Because for me, people are now challenging me in hip hop. Hey, you need to do more hardcore hip hop. You know, respect the culture, dog. It's all about the culture, hip hop culture. They said this to me for 7 years. I got pissed. I said, you want culture?
Let me give you the culture.
That's my culture. That is my, I'm Luwama.
Yes.
Before I was ever Navio. That is my culture. And I also think there's a way for that to flourish. You know, you saw in Jogere's be in between at Afrima Awards. That's just one of the many awards that was nominated in. Best song, best writer, best video, artist of the year. In between, Tiwa Savage, Davido, Wizkid, all of those categories when it came out. That shows that our music is actually unique. We don't have to always do the raga stuff, because that's Jamaican music.
Definitely.
To be honest, we've put our own spin on it, yes, but I think there's something to be said about our true local culture music, and that is what inspired me to do my own TV show, Navio X Project, because I'm like, there's something culturally that we haven't pulled to the surface yet. So even though, you know, we do the tourist things in my show, at the end we do a collaboration with the guys on ground, whether it's elders, whether it's a troupe, whether it's just a judge sitting on a stone, she sings the chorus. We want to do something that's culturally real. I've seen the power of that. Because when I get on stage, they didn't even know. They sonically never heard anything like it. The drums are like, we're loving it. We don't know what it is, but we feel that it's real. So we need to study that as well. The other challenge would be this bickering, this book competition, you know, the beef, and
that's what I was getting at next.
You know,
there's a lot of shade that has been thrown at you. Gundi agambe Navio alipata nebwati. Ate simanyo yo plandi kidi. Has that landed in your ears?
Yeah, of course. That one for me is even funny. You know, that one's even funny, but I feel like there's artists that really try pull each other down. You know, and you have to understand that when you're doing this as a job, you're doing it as a job to feed family. You know, there's a lot of young boys who come in the industry and they don't understand bills and school fees and whatnot. We do this to feed family. We do this to push our country forward. You know, some of us are really paying taxes out here. Like, you know, like this is a business. But guys are like, oh, we just want to Anya Singa. You know, who's the better at this? I'm like, let the people decide. For me, my biggest, the biggest hurdle I ever had over everyone was, I might go back and forth with you even. We'll talk a little bit. Eventually, the people will tell us what's up. You know, people will be like, oh, Navio, you don't belong on that Galaxy stage. Hey, Mr. Innocent himself was like, oh, at first he was like, are you a Galaxy? Are you a Galaxy? And I'm like, really? My own neighbor asking me such a question. But I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see you Saturday. I'll see you at the show. You tell me. You tell me. You know what I mean? And am I a Galaxy?
My God, it's like ants had entered those kids. Red ants.
Like people were saying, it got the biggest ovation at the place.
Definitely.
So for a dinosaur, it's not bad. You know what I mean? But like, that's the thing. I just want to prove it through my music. I'm gonna do me, whether or not people cheer. It's cool. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do me and do what I think is real, do what's right. And I'll let my work speak for itself.
Let's talk about the people that have thrown shade, beefed you, put some competition there. You talked about it, Nayochi Sizako Motoi. First of all, how did you handle it as a person, seeing people like Gravity come out, make those reckless comments about you?
I think for me, the funniest thing was the people putting him up to it. Because, first of all, okay, you've talked about my kids, you know what I mean? And you talk about my parents on a song, and then you come on at a conference when you're getting the same stuff and you say, if someone talks about my family, we're going to go to war.
But when he did it first,
it was all cool. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Then the plan was to put the show on the same day as me, so that I changed my date. And now it was
you mean all those things were planned? They were intentional.
This is what the team is telling me. I don't know what's what, and I don't even care. But anyway, somehow, let's say by mistake, I announced my date 3 months before, and then someone comes on the same date. I was supposed to move my date. I'm like, for who? For what? There's 7 other shows at the same time. We had rugby in Kasese, rugby in Jinja. We had the dance festival. We had the Nubian festival. We had Steps of Africa dance. We had the Gravity. We had the Navio. We had I don't know what other festival. There's 8 other shows. So I'm like, move for who? This is Navio fans are going to come see Navio, and his fans are going to come see him. I'm like, who am I supposed to move for at this stage in my career? I think sometimes people get so blinded by that planned kid thing. You know? Or maybe I need to appear more at these fests, so that people understand that music is extremely powerful, and I know what I've meant to the hearts of these kids. I'm here to inspire. You understand? And in the same way, they have inspired me. We have shared a common goal. So I was supposed to move my date. Then after moving my date, the show was also supposed to bomb. How many people do I have? 200, 300? I don't know how many. But, they also thought, all right, we're just going to kill him with numbers. I'm like, why would you want a grown man with kids to fail?
I hear you.
Have you ever thought about that? Fundamentally, I would never wish you to fail at something you're doing.
Definitely.
So why would someone go out of their way to want me to fail?
Yeah.
And then pass it off later like, oh yeah, no, I'm sure we're all going to get people when you're seeing the support coming my way. It's like you said, the first thing you said in the interview, my background in South Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some of the artists and whatnot, I've been around real thugs. I've been around real G's. I've been around this hip hop thing. And people always try and push you in a space and push you into a corner. And hope that you don't react. And at the end of the day, I literally, after 20 years, after 25 years, we'll see when the dust settles. I hope you're still here. Because I've been here 25 years, and I'm not regarded as the best artist, the best hip-hop artist in Uganda.
But
I'm regarded
here.
as the best hip-hop artist in East Africa. I'm the most award-winning East African artist of all time in East Africa. So unless you're hot in Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, if you're hot in Kampala, let's not even talk about it anymore. Like best of luck to you. I'm actually done with my career. I'm actually done. I'm done. It's up to you to prove yourself. In my prime, I was working with Wizkid.
Yes.
I was working with Burna Boy. I was working with Sarkodie.
Yeah.
I was working with your heroes.
Yes.
You understand?
In their prime time.
What have you done apart from collaborate with each other down here at the same town? Stop it. You're not doing stuff. You're not doing stuff better than me or worse than me. But I'm just saying, I don't want to compete anymore and talk about what I've done, where I've gone. 35 countries, touring and representing Uganda in my kanzu, moreover.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Oh, Tio.
I hear you.
That's what they hear. The first thing they hear from me is, UG, stand up.
Yeah.
When I get on every single stage. So it's very difficult for me to even start to quantify how I'm a loser to you. I write albums for American artists in Luzungu. Like, I'm just an OG. I'm an old man trying to feed his family.
Oh yeah.
That's it. So unless someone comes up to me straight in my face and says, Navio, you've done this to me. let us battle, let us beef. If it's not business, I don't want to.
You don't want
It's done. It's done already. You know.
That's Navio. It's the deep talk. Agenda. That was deep.
It's just real. It's just like, you know, best of luck to you. I hope you guys, you know, can do something useful with the time that you've been allocated.
Collab all over East Africa. Stop it.
No. I mean, I like the collab with me. I collab with people here also.
Oh, yeah.
But when they use that to compare,
I know.
You know, it's like, Navio, your songs are weak or your collabs are weak. I'm like, which collabs? The international ones? The local ones? The Kenyan ones? Like, you for me, they are categories. So, you know what I mean?
There's a Kenyan station I was listening to over the weekend, and they played, there's a song, is it called Sunshine or something? It's a beautiful song. You're with a female. Excuse me, I've forgotten the title. I had never heard that song here.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday, I'm driving. I'm listening to a Kenyan station. Navio is playing a song that I, a radio presenter, don't know in Uganda. I was like, nah.
What is the meaning?
This cannot be happening. And the way the presenter introduced the song, do you feel like Ugandans have received you the way they are supposed to? Because Navio, that Kenyan presenter introduced you like they were introducing Wizkid on a track. I felt cheated. I was like, I work for a top radio.
This is our guy.
I've not played this song. I don't even know about it. And it sounds so good. I'll send you the song. I'm going to sit down and look for it.
Yes.
So how do you feel you've been received back at home compared to how you're doing on the international scene?
I mean, to be honest, like, if I was pushing on 100%, like I used to, I would be more affected by where my music goes to. For now, I just cater to the fans that I have. You know, people are always like, oh, you don't put your songs in anymore for awards around the world, stuff like that. I'm like, it's cool, but I gotta go watch my daughter play football on Saturday. Like, it's now grown man issues, you know. And I the way I prioritize things, because I know what it means to miss those moments with my kids. I was a top level artist when my son and daughter were babies, and I'd go 5 months out of the country. That's crazy. I'm not making that mistake again, because I know that at the end of my life, I've already been the #1 rapper in East Africa. But you only get the chance at trying to be a good father once.
Once, yeah.
Once that's done, that's done. So I really want to be in a space where I'm free to pick and choose. And if I'm constantly trying to compete with Davido, Wizkid, or whatever, which is what the young boys should be doing here, you know, can you imagine?
That's supposed to be their competition.
I cannot imagine back in 2005 saying to myself, ha ha, Jimmy Katumba, I'm coming for you, baby. You think you're hot? No. Oh, you're done for. Why am I battling Kafero?
Yeah.
If you're battling Navio, your career is already done. You're done already. If I'm your target should be Chris Brown, at the least Banner Boy.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about I'm battling Navio. What? I'm wearing a shirt that my wife made me on television. You understand? Like, this is grown man business. I'm sipping chai.
Yes.
Live and direct, guys. If you're battling me, you're doing something wrong.
It is the Deep Talk. I'm still with Navio. We could go on and on and on and on, but thank you for the honesty. We really needed to clear that up. Let's talk about family a little bit, if you don't mind. A lot of people expected you to do the wedding a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It came in when was it 2019?
Yes.
2019, for some people, was a bit late.
Yeah.
With the exposure, you're well traveled, man. You've seen it all.
Yes.
You can pick whichever flower you want. Why did it take you that long to tie the knot?
One, the person who I wanted to tie the knot with, we've been friends since she was 17 years old.
Ooh.
So we never had a relationship, but I've known her since then, you know, and I was 21 at the time or something. And I was just like, oh, hey, and she came back 5 years later and grown up. And then we knew each other from then. So for me, it's never been a thing about rushing. I knew who I wanted to be with and who I was going to end up with. So by the time she came back and moved to Uganda, we were already together in our minds. It just took 7-8 years for us to say, hey, Munag. But I think 2 years earlier than that, we had done the Kwanjula.
Oh yeah.
We had got all of that out of the way. So for me, that's the most important thing. As Luwama, that is the most important thing. People who know my family know that we are the most Waganda adherent people out there. So that was the most important thing to me. Doing that, and then after that, the wedding could come. So we were supposed to do the wedding in Sweden.
Okay,
we did it 2019, and then we were supposed to come back and do one in Uganda. The next year, and of course COVID. COVID struck. So I'm glad at least we managed to get 2 weddings out of the way. But for number 3, the budget constraints.
I know, we understand.
Is set up.
How has that been on your career? Being a musician, and now a family man, a dad.
Yeah.
How heavy has that or light has it been on your career?
A few hearts were broken.
A few hearts? A few, really?
A few.
Navio, a few?
Yes, just
I feel like it's a school of hearts.
One or two hearts were broken. But as I get older, they're like, let him go. He's old anyway now. But when I was in shape, they was like, why? Why?
Yeah.
No. I think it was there was always support for it. A lot of people, they hadn't heard about it until they saw that picture of me in a church. And I think those are the only people who were taken back. Like,
you didn't go very flashy about it. Remember Bobby Wine's wedding, Chameleon, where those guys went huge.
Yeah.
Why did you go flashy about it?
I mean, also you need to understand the character of who you're with. She's a very private person. My wife is intensely personal.
Yeah.
Our relationship is our relationship. So for that reason, she's wants to keep some things for us. Also at the same point in time, it was a bargaining tool. I knew I'd have to do one big one in Uganda.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, let's do the Swedish one, with your friends also and family, people that she grew up with on that side. And then we'll do my chaos in Uganda, and we'll bring the helicopters, the jets. And the
yeah.
So we always had that idea, but of course we did the marriage in Sweden, and then we didn't get around to the Ugandan
because of the COVID one. But
yes.
Should we expect one? Should we expect Navio chaos, Navio and Matilda?
I think Kwanjula, one wedding. I'm a humble man, so I think we'll keep it there for now. But I definitely want to do something big for like the 10-year.
Oh yeah,
something just for us. So
it is Galaxy TV. Thank you so much for watching the Deep Talk. I'm still with Navio. Abadeo emyaka abiri wogata ketane clear card. That's emyaka abiri mu etaano. Sigenda mujja mushemu. So allow us end this one right here. But we shall show him again next week. Tugenda kweyongera emboozi endala ogenda giraba next week because there's a lot we would really love to know. Mu myaka abiri mu etaano gy'abadde, what have been the greatest lessons? What are the enemies he has made in the industry and the friends? N'ebirala bingi nnyo tovaawo. It's the Deep Talk.
The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.